And this is my new show, the Mr. No Edit Show. Now, bringing out today,
Mr. No Edit Show.
I swear you know him. Out of Detroit. All Detroit. My man, King MUSTAFA. That was a good touch. Thank you for coming on here, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. You can have a seat there.
Okay.
And like we've been doing lately, we're just gonna kind of jump right into this thing.
Okay.
We'd like to start with your vast history, although we can't do too much. The show wouldn't give you justice.
Right.
It's not long enough. So if you could just give us a quick run through when you started and the groups you danced with, please.
Okay, well, I want to take y'all to the time of the late 60s, early 70s. Yes, that far back. That's far back.
We going back.
And my first group at the age of between 7 and 9 years old, I was with a group called Maurice and Company. We started right there on Puritan and between Sorrento and Steele Street. Would be the very first group that I started with. And
7 years old.
Yeah.
Man, that's young.
Yeah. And that's how far back I go. And
what type of dances were you doing then?
then we were locking and robot, doing locking and robot. And there was the dances they had were, you know, the bump, the funky chicken, things of that nature. You know, there was no real, you know, they just had like what they call it, you know, your made up dances, just, you know, things that, you know, only certain groups of people, you know, would just give a name, like call this out, you know, and that would be the dance, you know. But yeah, if you can remember back in the days, you ask your parents about the funky chicken, the mashed potato, the robot, the bump.
The original robot. That's what the old robot.
Yes, the original robot. So things stem from there, and then you had the lockers, and everyone, when the lockers touched the world, it spread like wildfire. And I can honestly say that was probably your first dance craze. You know, from California all the way to New York, locking was like maybe your first dance craze, because before then everybody just did moves and there was really no specific name of it. You know, you get names out of those areas. The same name wouldn't be the same name in a different area.
Gotcha. You know? On that side of town, it'd be called this, but locking was locking.
Right. When locking hit, everybody knew what locking was.
So after your first group, at 7 years old, then what groups?
Groups after that will be the Steele Street Dancers, American Poppin' Crew. All American Poppin' Crew would be the ones like on my high school days. Moved on to fast forward to Group Police, Rock Rockers, Versatile Breakers, Versatile Dancers, and
there's a lot of groups.
Yeah.
I should have been like
right. A Rare Appearance.
You in the Rare Appearance?
Yes, I was in Rare Appearance.
Okay.
One of my favorite looks.
Okay. What year was that about?
Oh man, 95? Roughly about 95.
Okay.
94, 95. That would be the fast version.
And what's the last group you were in?
The very last group. Let's see, my very last group would have been
Rock Rockers?
Yeah, Rock Rockers would be the last group.
Rock Rockers were monsters. I heard that.
Officially, yeah.
I know that first. Well, I don't know that. But
yeah, I don't leave out Metro Robots. Yeah, Metro Robots. That was an early group.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I didn't want to leave them out.
Okay. Now, I want you to quickly explain to the folks, we were talking before we started rolling camera, about some interesting things dealing with JIT, as far as when you first seen JIT.
Okay.
What were they doing, and who was doing it? You were mentioning strike.
Right. Well, yes, you have the basic move, which was the clap, and then your strike, and then your footwork, which consists of the walk and jazz and things of that nature.
And they basically seem to morph or come from the old jitterbug style when they dance with each other, like Lindsay Hop.
Yeah, yeah. If you could just imagine seeing the group or seeing the dance jitterbugging, which consists of a couple, if you could just imagine eliminating the female, and then you have the jit. You have the jit. You have, that would be the closest that you could say that what it looks like or where it came from, where the origin, could possibly came from. But we could never say that we took it from it because we wasn't doing it. That's not what we were doing.
Right.
There was no female dancing with us, and then we say, okay, let's get rid of her and let's put this together.
You've seen some things.
It's basically started from that point.
And made it your own, basically.
Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, that helps connect dots.
Yes.
So what I'm noticing is you're very versatile in that locking, popping, robot, jit, funketeering, which is jitting, is a form of jitting. What else? Do you do anything else dance wise?
Yeah, so modern dance, modern dance, jazz dancing, also choreograph, choreograph. Can also, I guess, I don't know if you're familiar with what we call GQ Esquire. Detroit had a dance called GQ.
Is that something like the song? There's a song out.
Yeah.
Classic Man. Is that? That kind of, is it something like that?
That's the new version. That would be the update version. But if you took that years back, if you took that actual years back, yeah, that would be Classic Man.
And what's it called?
It was called the GQ Esquire.
What? All right, briefly.
Yeah.
Really briefly. Explain that. Describe that dance. People can kind of see it.
Okay. Well, anyone who's familiar with the GQ Esquire would be. It's a swag all of its own. It's a very classic. I would say it has the essence of ballet.
Their posture.
Yeah, you're upright, your posture, your moves are swerve. In California they call it whacking.
Okay.
They call it whacking, or nowadays they call it. It starts with an S. It's a Japanese name. Chabadoo does it. Chabadoo does it.
Yeah. I seen it.
Yeah,
he's
famous for it.
I was captivated.
And just all, it's about posing and being
sweet.
suave about it.
When do you do that? When would you do that? There are certain parties for it?
Yeah. We had events. If you're familiar with the old school events that they used to have back in the days, they had a group called Gentlemen of the Galaxy, GOGs.
Yeah.
Gentlemen of the Galaxy.
You remember that?
Direct Drive, 31 Flavors, Charivari.
Those were groups
Yes.
that did those dances?
Yes, they were clubs.
Oh, they were clubs.
Yeah, they were.
Excuse me.
GOGs, the Gentlemen of the Galaxy, 31 Flavors, Direct Drive, Sidewalk Fair, Charivari, and each one were based from a high school. Like GOGs were Cooley High School, Charivari, they were like either Northwestern or Murray Wright. You would see them wearing the Letterman jackets and everything.
Oh, okay.
Direct Drive was Henry Ford.
And they did that.
31 Flavors were Cody and like schools like Benedictine and stuff. Real.
Was it the east side and west side?
Yeah,
Detroit wide thing?
yeah.
Now-
Yeah, on the east side you had it was a candy name. I'm trying to remember the name. It wasn't like Skittles or nothing, but it was older.
Juice fruit.
Not Juicy. Well, Juicy Fruit was a name, but they weren't that popular. They weren't that
I'm
popular.
on it.
Yeah, I can recall Juicy.
Now check it out. So, all right. So you do all that extra, and when I inquired about it, I didn't expect you to give any more names. But okay, I received two more.
Right.
Modern dance and
Jazz dance.
dig. Now you also DJ,
Yes.
and I don't mean play around. You DJ.
Yes.
You can get down. What else artistically do you do?
Dibble dabble a little bit in graffiti. You know, all the elements of hip hop. You know, MCing, DJing, graffiti, and people.
And you produce music.
Yes, production, engineering. I'm just about finished with school with engineering, but I also have my degree in broadcasting, multimedia, video, radio.
Oh, good. Good.
Watts Broadcasting. I graduated from Watts Broadcasting. The very first class. The first class.
So what you're saying is, Mustafa,
Yes.
what
well
you-
rounded.
what- no, that ain't what you're saying. What you're really saying is that you're a Renaissance man.
That could be.
You beyond well-rounded. You're a Renaissance man. The degree just took it over well-rounded.
Yes, I'm glad you elaborated in that perspective.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to give you an opportunity to discuss some things that's been on your mind. We have a segment called "What's on Your Mind,"
What's on my mind?
and what's going on is just truthfully, honestly, what's going on in your mind, something that you would like to elaborate on or discuss for the people out there. We want to give you opportunity to do so.
Okay, well, just would like to take this time to address the issues that we have with the juke community. There's some, I would say, misinterpretation, miscommunication with the fact of the JIT community wanting to unify with the juke community.
Now the juke community is that an umbrella for footwork, or are you talking two different things?
We're talking two different things. Yeah. See, jitting would be considered footwork. Juking would be considered boot work.
And what hey, boot work. Why boot work?
Well, if you put on a pair of boots that may be like 3 sizes too big, and you hit the dance floor attempting to do some footwork, you more than look like you're juking.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get what
So
you're
then
saying.
your boot work. Yeah.
Okay.
Boot work.
I get okay.
And
I get
there's
why
only-
you, I
there's
get
only
why I
one-
seen you
right.
use that word before. I didn't know why.
Right.
Okay.
But there's only one dance that can say they do footwork, and that would be jit.
Okay.
Clear.
And you're saying that because jitting is more of an organized dance. Is that what you?
Well, no, because the origin is
it
created
started
first.
there first.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, it would
okay.
be your first footwork dance.
Gotcha.
You know, because if you look at all the rest of the dances, it doesn't consist of the main entity being a collaboration of footwork.
Okay.
You can't jit without footwork.
Dig.
You know, you can try.
It
I
doesn't
don't
exist.
I don't know anyone's jitting without footwork.
Okay. So, can you go into a little detail as to why you have a problem with juke?
Okay, well, this is where the problem stems from. Okay, you started a dance in your city. You attempt to claim certain claims which you cannot claim, meaning to say that your dance is better than another dance, or your dance was there before another dance, or even to say that your dance could possibly beat the original dance. It's more so the teacher or the students telling the teacher that I could out dance you.
So that right away means that you believe that juking, or whatever they call
refer to it, yeah.
Stems from jitting.
No.
Or it doesn't stem from jitting.
No,
Oh, okay. Okay.
The way the story has came to me is that they wanted to do a dance. They saw the JIT.
I said it because the reason I said that is because you said the student
Right.
is going after the teacher.
Right. I know. I see where you're going with that. Though Chicago has never claimed Detroit as being the parent of footworking, that's where the misconception is.
Okay.
And
First.
you can't start something and claim that you're the first at it when there's documentation and clarification that clearly jitting was here long before juking.
I see.
You know, we can count on one hand how long juking has been around, and whether you realize it or not, we have history. If you just imagine, I just quoted some things from the 70s. This dance has been around since the 70s, the early 70s. So, right then and there, you have Tracy McGee and the Jitterbugs, or just the Jitterbugs, period. You know, when you speak of jitting, you have to speak about the Jitterbugs because they are the originators and the founding fathers.
And you would also, based off our conversation we had before we started, you would also have to include the Earl Flynn's.
Yes.
And that's where they all did the dances.
Well, Earl Flynn's incorporated because they were the gang, and back in those days, popularity swung by the groups. You know, you had FMKs on the west side. Earl Flynn's were mainly based west, east. You know, BKs was all east side, and through these organizations, things spread real fast.
The dance spread at the parties.
Right. It was a phenomenal dance craze at that time. You know, you could see the city fading away from the bump and the dances that they were doing, and everyone levitated towards the JIT.
Okay. And they were the first group to incorporate it.
Yes, they were the first group organized.
Okay.
Because then you have a lot of groups that came behind the junior JITs, which was Flysdale and Big Percy and all of them on the east side, Persian High School, and then on the west side you had High Steppers, Motor City High Steppers, and groups of that nature.
Well, let me ask you this. So back to the juking. The stakes you have for the juking. Is that fair? Okay. What is your fear as it relates to juking? Because evidently you foresee something happening if a solution is not found to stop juking from infiltrating Detroit, as you say.
Right.
What is your fear?
Well, my fear is the story will get misconstrued by the storytellers of certain individuals who have allowed juking to still exist.
Okay.
There was an opportunity that we could have put juking in its grave. Yeah.
And what would that opportunity be? What was that?
That would have been the event they had at St. Andrews. It was Detroit versus Chicago. Big up to Strings and Hardcore and Brother YG from Chicago who put that event on. There were no intentions of unifying nor were there any intentions of Detroit, Chicago alliance, parenting, juking, housing juking, welcoming juking? None of that was the intention.
Okay, so so as far as you're concerned, the intentions were to go there and obliterate.
Basically, yes, basically. When they came to visit Detroit, they deserved a spanking. They got a spanking. They deserved it.
Did they get a spanking?
Oh yeah, they got it.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, they got a spanking. Oh yes, X-Men. A few groups were there too.
Oh, the first one.
Yes, they were there to give them
Okay.
a spanking. Yes.
Okay. Okay, got you.
Mhm.
With the first one.
They were there to give them a spanking. Yet they allowed Chicago to go home, lick their wounds,
Oh,
and
right.
like a vicious bad cold, they came stronger. At this time, as we speak right now, there are Detroit jitterbugs who chooses to welcome juking, who are now practicing juking, who is now embracing the culture of Chicago bookwork.
So, who do you hold responsible? Who are you? You're not attacking anyone. Who are you aiming this to or pointing this at? Is it the JUKERS? Is it the small group of individuals you were talking about who are bringing them in? Who are you?
Well, it's
talking to?
I would point the finger. If I was to point the finger, I would point the finger at a collection of the ones who have allowed them to play a part in dancing, which juking has no what's the word?
So you know it doesn't belong here.
Period. I mean, come on, look, the dance look like a crackhead having convulsions, you know. So I mean, how could you compare
all opinions of our guest are?
Great, add that in there.
I'll put it in the beginning. I can put it in the beginning.
Right. All views and opinions are not of.
Right. This is
unedited show.
King MUSTAFA's opinion. That's right.
It's clearly my.
And we do respect your.
Yes. Yeah. I like to put it out there truly that I am one who, as in accordance with your originators, brothers who were enlightened and inspired to get involved with the culture, the brothers and sisters who keep the culture alive and vibrant, because it has to be vibrant, it has to be agile. This is a very agile dance. I mean, one of the most agile dances, period, on the planet.
You're a gatekeeper.
Yes. I guess
And you take that responsibility
I'm
serious. Well, I mean, I'm looking at it as, you know, I'm putting
I'm
putting a title.
Yeah, you interpret it correctly.
Yeah, okay, good.
Your questions and everything.
So that would back up your passion.
Yes.
Behind this.
Yes.
Now,
you know who y'all are.
Right. So, and this makes me think of something that I came across as Mr. No Edit. Mr. No Edit. No bias in this at all. But I came across some things on the internet where you were saying, hey, look, you guys didn't come to this last event to help stomp them out.
Mm-hmm.
I hold you responsible, and you're
Yes.
calling out certain people. Who were you calling out, and what was that about?
Yeah, if you could enlighten yourselves or go into the post, there's a comment about how long a group has been successfully running. That's what the comment, or the post was about. The post was about how long a group has been legendly, representing JITTERS. And my thing was, well, if y'all are this legendary group, why is the dance juking still around? Why are they growing? Why are the fact that y'all do events every week, and the capacity is low, the support is low, it's mediocre. Chicago come here and do one event, and it's packed places, well supported. The dancers from Detroit are trying to confront something that that's totally should have been addressed a long time ago, and we know how long this is running. And by them still bragging and boasting and really shining a bad light on JIT, and the jitterbug and the JIT community. I mean, this can't be tolerated. I have zero tolerance for the culture. For talking bad about the culture, representing the culture in the wrong type of way. I mean, even with the dress. I see you jitterbugs out there with the wrong attire.
What would be considered the wrong attire?
Yeah. Pants sagging right here, trying to jit with your shit right here. You can't jit with your shit right here.
I was a little slow. My machine's a little slow.
Okay.
We tried to catch it, folks.
That's not JIT attire. If you notice the way we dress, this is combat gear. You know what I'm saying? I can wear this. Right. I can wear this, and if I was to be confronted by anyone, I'm already prepared. I get from my car. I come from my yard work.
It just started moving.
Oh, and just start hitting. You know what I'm saying? So you can never catch me off guard.
So
it could be my pajamas too.
So who were some of the groups you were, after? Because you felt that they should be. You felt that they should be there,
right,
to represent, to help. Because you believe that if the groups are there to dance against them and just show out,
yeah, they wouldn't have been able to go to Chicago and talk the talk. They wouldn't be able to show footage. They wouldn't be able to address, jitting the way they do.
Right.
It's
so you mentioned Lonnie, I think.
Yes, Lonnie. I mentioned Lonnie simply because he's always been an individual that when he's never been in a group, so individually.
He doesn't jit.
He knows how to jit. He knows how to jit.
If I can go?
Yeah, he knows how to jit.
You consider him a jitter?
No, I wouldn't consider him a jitter.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him a jitterbug, but he's aware of the culture and supports it. And
so you felt he should have been there?
Yeah, he should have been there. Yeah.
Who else do you think should have been there, maybe?
X-Men, of course.
X-Men.
World Threat, of course. And just because one or two members were there, don't mean that the whole group was represented.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no one knew World Threat was there. No one knew X-Men was there. If you were to ask anybody who attended the event, which was heavily promoted in the city of Detroit, and there was no excuse for you not to say that you didn't know about it. Everyone knew about it, clearly. So for one member to be there doesn't say that the whole group was there. So at the end of the day, when Chicago was leaving, some went away with the thought that we were unifying.
Right. So was there anyone else in particular you were calling out that maybe could have been there?
Oh yeah. There was one particular group in particular that just magnifies a group called Unstoppable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on one second. I'm right back. Hold that thought right there.
Okay. Yeah. What?
So, Mr. No Edit stepped out for a second,
Right.
And got me in the guys. And we just wanted to hear. You saying something about Unstoppables?
Yeah. Unstoppable, y'all. And would be my favorite JIT group at this time. That's my present.
Oh, we appreciate it. Just all love, you know.
Yeah. And I can actually say that for the future too, because I don't see anybody coming up touching them brothers. You know, y'all are in a class by yourself. You know, and by being, I would say I'm actually a member of MUSTAFA.
Yes, you are.
So cool.
Glad to stop. Glad to have you.
No, it's a pleasure being here, man.
Not me, Mr. Noel.
No, not you.
I'm not biased. That's okay. So now we want to know if you're gonna grant us your presence in the workroom and show us a little something. Now we can just let me know what type of music you want. Okay, I'm going to grab the camera here. While I'm doing this, no edits. We do not edit. Is there anything else you would like to discuss, or just anything you want to say before we go into the workroom? You don't have to. Just I want to give you that.
I would say just to the JIT community, man. While y'all still bickering about East Side, West Side, old school, new school. This and that, the ins and outs. There's a dance craze that's devouring. They refer to it as juking. I refer to it as boot working. Let's eliminate this. Let's come together and eliminate this problem. This could be our first task as a unified community that we can say that we accomplished by going to take Chicago out, eliminate their dance culture, and maybe embrace them if they embrace the JIT community. If they no longer want to juke and see that jitting is the real footwork, then we could talk. We can unify and under those clause.
And as a segue, the way this is your opinion. The way of showing them this or getting rid of them is to beat them in dancing.
Of course.
And speaking of dancing, are you going to possibly come party with us March 5th?
March 5th.
Yeah, we got a little something going on. Ultimate dress to sweat, and we're hoping you can come out there and.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Okay. Oh, this is all you have to say is the Ritz, man. Just say the Ritz.
You gonna come out there with us?
It'd be my pleasure. It'll be my pleasure.
We appreciate that.
I encourage everyone to support this.
Oh man, we appreciate that.
Yes.
Now, I did not pay King Mustafa to do
didn't.
this. This is love.
Yeah, this is out of love.
This is love.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, son. This is love. That's all this is. It ain't about everybody agreeing with each other's opinions and all that, but this right here is love. I just want to share that. Okay. All right. So we're gonna follow King Mustafa, and he's gonna, if you want a certain song.
We're gonna mess around. We're in the workroom.
Okay.
We're in the workroom.
Okay. I think King Mustafa got a surprise here. I think King Mustafa can pick his own song. For those who don't know.
the gloves on the wheels of steel. He's reckless. This high-power music is truly unique as the glove cuts the rhythm to the hip-hop beat. He moves like a madman as he spins his dips. He's the #1 scratcher on the Now I've seen DJ, many to name. Some gain recognition and even fame. But when you talk of MCs, Ice-T is the best. And when you talk of DJs, forget the rest.
That's right. Unrehearsed. It's on the spot.
So here in the workout room.
In the workout room.
Start with the basics, where it started from.
Basic, baby.
This will be your basics.
I'll get you by the turntable.
You can't say you're jitting without the basic steps. The basic step will be your hand clap as well as your complementing combinations. Oh, you can turn it down a little bit. Can you hear me good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good.
You know somebody was jitting by them doing this. The very first move is jitting. When you see the brother do that or sister do that, you know they're about to jit. So, here we go. Notice the arms, the head. Footwork. Cross it over. Now, we're moving into what y'all doing today. Combination, crossing over, drops. Then we move fast forward. Let's fast forward to some funkin'. Now you funkin'. Let's fast forward. So now they incorporate male dancing. You see the male dancers. The hip roll. Combination with, well, I don't do it personally, but they mix like other dances like the disco. You rent the disco. You can go in any direction with it, you know. Even if you decided to do some modern dance. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess let's keep it street. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it gangster. Earl Flynn. Those who know what Earl Flynn is, this was also incorporated. Then b-boy, breakdance, everything was incorporated into acrobat. You know, we got your flips, your combinations with tumbling. So many aspects. There's nothing you can't venture off into with it. You know what I'm saying? So, if there's anything specific that you want to know or would like to see.
Yeah, how can people reach you or maybe see some things that you have video-wise or reach out to you with questions? How can they
first and foremost on the Zulu Nation, ZuluNation.com. You can reach me and get to ZuluNation.com. You learn the history, because we elaborate on the history. Locally, 313 King on Twitter, Instagram, Mustafa Ali, Facebook, which is also 313 King for real. And that can be reached at all the social media. Also, I support your groups, your local groups in Detroit groups. Detroit music supports Detroit music. A lot of this is made here right here in Detroit. I highly suggest to learn your culture, learn, and you won't make the same mistake a lot of people are making today. And that'll keep you out of the pit. You know, it'll keep you from being on the wrong side of unstoppable too.
Thanks a lot, bro.
My pleasure.
Closing out.